All right, traders, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another yearly recap. So in this one, we're going to be going over the year in review. We're going to talk about all the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to take a look at the data. We're going to deep dive. And of course, we're going to talk about things we can improve on. We're going to talk a little bit about a game plan too for ourselves as we're heading into the new year. I urge you guys to do the same. That way you have a good gauge on what you've done and where you can improve as you head into the new year. All right. So towards the end, we're also going to talk a little bit about motivation and, how to keep yourself in check mentally. So guys, as we're getting started here, remember, hit that thumbs up button. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. And remember our disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky. Remember that a lot of people out there are struggling and are having a hard time. So take it slow, utilize the routes that are out there that will allow you to reduce your learning curve, rather reduce your losses as you go through the learning curve, which are the paper trading simulators, and of course, utilizing a small amount of cash. All right. So let's jump into it. This is the month, this is the calendar. We started off the year very strong. And the most impressive things for me looking back was just the amount of red days, right? Keeping those red days to a minimum. Months like January, February, and May really standing out. Even April as well. Just not a ton of red days. But as we get into the back half of the year, you guys will see June, August, October, and November especially, a ton of red days. And so, these are things we're going to have to work on as we head into the new year, understanding where and when to continue to be aggressive and when to ease off. And even on the hot stocks, easing off earlier, quicker, and protecting more of the gains. So let's jump into the detailed section. Drum roll, here we go. Boom, ladies and gentlemen, we're at $176,415.26 in gross gains. So these are our gains before the small fees that the platform will charge. The platform charged us about $5,000 in fees, right? This is the cost of doing business. And so we do have gross and we have net, which is after the gains, which is a 171,330, right? 171K. So we're going to be looking at it at the gross, not looking at the fees. We're just going to talk about what we did and how we were able to trade the markets this year. So besides the total gain, we have the daily gain, which is at $700 per day, 708.50. And my total volume is at 292,693, right? 292,000. So heading into this year, I had a goal of trading 500,000 shares of volume per day. We did not get to that goal. We fell short of our goal of trading 500,000 shares of volume per day. And in fact, we fell short of that goal by a fair amount, right? So heading into the new year, I'm going to have a goal of 800,000 shares of volume per day. And we're going to try our best to achieve that goal. Ultimately, right now we are profitable. And so the more trades that we take in those good areas, the more share size that we're using, the better we will be able to do. We have to continue to trust ourselves. We have to continue to be courageous. Even when we might feel a little fearful, we have to stand up and be courageous and act and do what's necessary to ensure success. Cutting the trades quickly for losses and holding those winners longer and getting the gains that we know we can see. So average winning trade 71, average losing trade 51. Coming down here, our Kelly percentage is at 11. Number of winning trades 48%. And I think we can improve on this area here as well, as we continue to refine our mindset and get better. I think ultimately we can see more winning trades. I believe this is 10,000 trades here on the year, which is definitely up significantly from last year's amount. You guys will see that my average, my largest gains at 2,600, my largest loss 2,700, which just happened 2 days ago. Unfortunately, just getting caught in a big flush down and a halt down and the stock resuming slightly lower. So very disappointing there. But ultimately, it's part of the deal, part of the game that we do here which is called day trading. So average winning trade, 20 seconds, right? Average losing trades, 10 seconds in terms of hold times. Coming down, let's look at the day and time, performance by day and time. So we have our best day being Tuesday, which amounted to 47,000, and then followed by Wednesday, which is 40,000, Monday coming in third, 32K, Thursday 29,000, and Friday 26,000. So our performance throughout the day, we can come here to every 15 minutes. I did trade in California, which I believe throws off my timing just a little bit, but anyhows, 9:30 and onward is where we did our best, right? Trading the first hour, 9:30, 10:30, 44,000 in that range, 9:45, 29K, 10, 8K, 10:15, 21K, 10:30, 10,000. We definitely did not trade a lot in after hours, or rather pre-market and late afternoon. But I think this year that's something we can improve on, is just sticking around a little more. And we're going to have to do a better job balancing our schedule because we do have other business. All right. But something to work on. Our best month of the year was November. I do think that December had the most opportunities. I underperformed. I think if I had performed to my best on December, I could have done about 50,000. So you guys can be sure to check out the December recap. I'll try and put a video link up here if you haven't seen it already. Yeah. Worst month was October and March. March, we had the banking crisis, small caps dried up, and I was very reluctant to trade the banking stocks. If I had traded the banking stocks earlier, maybe we could have done anywhere from 5 to 10K, maybe more on the month. October, though, very slow month for small caps, almost nothing. And this is one of those months for me where it was, hey, let's stay sideways. If we can get something out of it, great. But if we can't, that's okay. Let's not be red. And that was a mission accomplished for me, because in previous years, we could have easily ended red a couple thousand on a month like that. So very good stuff here. Most of my gains, of course, intraday. We don't swing. We don't really swing any positions in this account, especially. I have longer swings, but different hold, like portfolio stuff, right? So performance by price range, we have between 5 and 10, our best range, followed by then 2 and 5, and then third place coming in under 2. We have between 10 and 20. I think 10 and 20 next year, if we can see some more stocks between 10 and 20, we can do better in that range, especially if we get more VVOSs, right? Between 20 and 50, small gain there as well. Now, I don't know how this is counted, because if a stock starts at 2 and it goes to 20 by the end of the day, does it count as a 2 to 4 stock? How, or is it managed continuously as we go, right? Are they going to track between 5 and 10 and then 10 and 20? I don't know how they do it, but yeah, this is what we're getting here. So performance by stock, let's see. So our best stock of the year was VCIG, followed by LIFW, SERA, HCTI, C4, YELL. Just absolutely beautiful here. BFRG coming in at 2,500 on the very bottom of the list. And in terms of losses, our biggest loss happened on CING on the 28th of December. Again, on a nice dip, instant halt down, big size, almost a $2,700 loss. TOP, followed coming in next, second place, 1,600. These are like, the common flushes you'll get caught in, 1,300, 1,400. So this is the beauty of cutting losses quickly, is that when you take losses like this and there'll be something, right? There's not nothing, but on the days where things are going well and you continue to be aggressive, you continue to trade, you get this difference right here, 8.5 versus 2.9. 7.5 versus 1,600, 5.9 versus 1,400, and so forth down the list, 5.2 versus 1,300. This is the result of cutting losses quickly. Cut the losses quickly, and on the days where things are going well, continue to be aggressive. And you can get the discrepancy in the right direction. So performance by stock, anything over 25 million shares, the more volume, the more the stock continues to move, the better we are doing on the stock, right? The better we're performing. So here are some extra metrics that you guys might be interested in. Relative volume, stuff like that. In fact, it's a ton of stuff here. I don't really look at all this. Coming back up. Performance relative to the SPY. Some people might be interested in this as well. The overall market does play a role. It's not super close, but at different times, money does move in and out of small caps. But on a day-to-day basis, like how these large cap stocks will kind of follow the SPY, it's not in that way. All right. So now the win-loss comparison, which is one of the craziest stats here for me. It's always a tough pill to swallow looking at this, seeing that I made on the year $713,000 for every time that I bought and sold throughout the entirety of the year. But on the other hand, I also lost $536,000. So a lot of money has moved through my account, a ton of money. And these percentages here are not great. This continues to be something for me to work on, which is to be able to retain more of my gains. I think some of it is the nature of the strategy, but I definitely think I can see anywhere from like a 10 to 20% increase in retaining gains as I become better mentally and just being more of a disciplined trader. I think I can see a 10 to 20% increase, which is a fair amount for these type of numbers, right? That's a fair amount. So there's work to be done, and the question is, how do we stay focused? How do we stay, sharp mentally, especially for those people who are still red, right? And so, I always like to come back here and show the people where I came from, right? So let's clear out this data here. And I want to show the people where I came from because it wasn't always, like this. Let's go back to 2020, right? It wasn't always like this. Look at me officially going live here in May of 2020. It was not always like this. My worst month ever, October. Just take a look at this. Take a look at this, guys. I'm going to always show this because I need the people to understand that it's not an overnight success. This is the culmination of years of work and discipline. And when you're red every day, when you're struggling every day, for a week, for a month, for a year, for years, you have to remind yourself of who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. Who are you and why are you trading? My name is Tariq, and I'm trading because I believe this particular space, this particular sector can be a great way, a great way and a gateway for me to propel myself into financial freedom and have much more time on my hands. It can help me to get to places where I would not have been able to go otherwise when it comes to just my personal time and even with money, right? So when it comes down to the side of just the monetary things, these are some awesome gains that we're seeing now. 22K in the month of December. It's like we're literally getting in there, to the brackets of the top 15-20% of Americans, So day trading is something that I believe can get me closer to my dreams. So we have to continue to dream and we have to continue to be disciplined. And every field has its challenges. It doesn't matter what it is. Every single field out there has its challenges. There's no business that's an easy business. So, we have to continue to remind ourselves of who we are and the importance of what we're doing and dig deep. Dig deep. You don't need to say, hey, I'm green 50 million, so this red month is fine. You don't need that to have reassurance, right? You don't need that. You have to encourage yourself, inspire yourself, motivate yourself, and know that you can get to the promised land. Understand that if you work hard today, you can see the better tomorrow, right? If you work hard this year coming up, you can see a better year next year. it doesn't have to be in 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. It takes time. We go to 2021, and so my progress. Let's look at my progress for each year, right? 2020. Let's look at 2020 January, guys. In the month of 2020, in the year of 2020, when I first went live, I made $88 a day. I traded 53,000 shares of volume, and I made $14,000. And I was so proud of this. I was so proud of making $14,000 in a year. And now I can make $14,000 in a month, and maybe even on a good day, right? Definitely on a good day. So it just takes time. You have to buy into the mindset, and you have to surrender yourself, man. I keep saying this. This is not a place for ego. This is not a place for pride. You have to buy into the mindset. Slowest is the fastest way. Slowest is the fastest way. Year number 2, coming up to $200 a day, 36,000 on the year, and another year I was super proud of. I was importing without splitting my trades, so my accuracy is showing a little higher. My hold times are showing a little higher as well, but yeah, 36,000 in year number 2. Year number 3. Let's look at year number 3, 2022. Guys, in 2022, I started the first 3 months flat. And we bumped it up from 212 to now 237, $58,000 per day. Great accuracy here. We did our thing. We were improving. Our volume went up a little bit to 121,000 shares. And this has always been how I am. Slow growth over time. You don't need this thing overnight. I'm assuming most people coming into the field already have some sort of income. You're working your day job, your career, whatever it might be. You're considering trading as something. Being that there is the beauty that we can trade for the first hour or two, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. We don't need to be there all day. So, whether you're someone who you have a flexible schedule, it's something that you can look into and be able to do and dedicate the time that's necessary to improve over the months and years. And then, coming into 2023, we're pushing it even more, right? We go from $237 per day to now up to $700 per day, right? We're now at $700 a day, and from 121,000 shares of volume, we've went up to 292,000 shares per volume. Next year, the goal will be 800,000 shares per volume, maybe more. We're going to try to push as hard as we can to do it. And, with more share size, we're going to have to fall back more on our mental state of mind, because there's going to be more swings naturally. But throughout it all, we need to continue to maintain equilibrium. We have to maintain the Goldilocks zone. And if we do, next year will be an even better year. And you guys know me. I'm looking forward to the opportunities. So best believe by December 30th of 2024, I will have improved in some ways. I know I will. I will not give myself a choice. I will improve. So, continue to stay motivated, continue to dig deep, continue to work hard, continue to remind yourself of who you are and your dreams. Know that you're someone who's capable, you're worthy, you can do this. So keep fighting, keep grinding. Remember, if you can see it in your mind, you have to believe. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. Let's keep chasing our greatness. Guys, check out those links down below. Maybe you might want to get started in the classes, right? Getting started in the program could be a good way to also start the new year, right? Our strategy here is proven. The mentors collectively, I think, did close to $1 million this year, right? The 3 mentors, myself, Marcelo, and Tim. Marcelo, 400,000 on the year. Tim, about 350,000 on the year. And myself, 175,000 on the year. So if you guys want to get involved with the classes, feel free to check out Merciless market, guys. You can get involved with a 50% coupon now, 50% off coupon, code DREAM. Utilize the classes, gain full access to us, our archives, our lectures, our mentorships, and everything else, the classes itself, of course, right? And join the community, all right? You'll have full access to the chat room. Be sure to check out MMU. Here's the checklist of everything that comes with our gold membership, all right? So remember, stay focused, continue to chase your dreams. It's been Relentless Trader. It's been a good yearly recap, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, stay safe, stay green, and I'll catch you guys later.